What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Ruth the Truth here. Before we start today's show, I would like to take some time to give a few good words to a really good man that the world lost today. He was an inspiration to me when it came to sports media. Mr. Alex Fleming has touched a lot of people in sports media, a lot of friends. I've known him for a little bit over a year. I first met him on the sports arena. I got connected with him through Eric Wilson and all the great things that they've been doing on their show, as well as the NFL carousel show that they had. The world lost a great man this past Monday, and I'm gonna play his last video that he posted for the NSPN network that I just started working with as well. And knowing that Alex was working with NSPN is kind of what brought me over to this network, because I know that Alex doesn't take any BS and he's always out there trying to put out great fire content, and we're really going to miss him. He was a sports director for the Florida Sun Review. He also did the Magic Perspective. He was everywhere. He was doing a lot of work. And I mean, he was at the Hall of Fame ceremony that they had. He was at the NFL Combine. He was at all these games all across the United States. And he was just a really hardworking guy. And he's going to be extremely missed, for sure. It was awesome to be able to experience week 1 of the NFL season with him. He was over here at my house with Eric Wilson and Michael Cartenuto, and we did some work, some charity work at some of the NFL events that was going around in Tampa. And we came back to my house and we relaxed and kicked it for a little bit. We shared a pizza. Me and Alex split a black cherry soda water, and he was just like beside himself because he's never had a clear American soda water before. And I will never forget those moments. And he cuddled with my pit bull on the couch before we went to the stadium and did our thing. He had a great interview with Martin Gramatica. And Alex he's really going to be missed. And it sucks what happened this week. And I just want everybody to know to hold your loved ones close. When it comes to grudges, throw those away. There's no time for that because life is too short. And rest in power, Alex. I'm going to miss you a lot. You made a huge impact on me. I called him the sports encyclopedia because this man had so much knowledge in that big old head of his. And he was just so smart, and he was very talented, and his career was just excelling. So it was really painful to hear the news of what happened to him. And this is the last video that he posted for NSPN from the press box in Jacksonville as he covered the Jags for NSPN. And him and Jared did their post-game video from the press box. And I'm going to go ahead and play it. And then we're going to get the Tom Gronkowski Show started. Thanks for hanging with us.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game in TIAA Bank, where the Jacksonville Jaguars suffered their 20th consecutive loss, 37-19 to the Tennessee Titans.
That's not only what we lost. We appeared to have lost Brandon Litter for at least a week. Let's see how that goes out. Hopefully it's nothing major.
A little bit longer than that. They said it was knee and possibly MCL. He could be back only because the season is early, but it doesn't look good. What also doesn't look good is the mentality of the locker room. Speaking with James Robinson, you could tell he was frustrated due to the simple fact that 4 shots at pay dirt in the third quarter that could change the momentum of this game, and he's not on the field.
No. And also, Shaq Griffin, he's got a little bit of anxiety going on, too. He feels some type of way with the way things are going on defense. So
a lot of miscommunication, 2 people making signal calls and play calls to put people in position. The problem is, if Shaquille Griffin's job or task was to stop A.J. Brown, which he did a not too bad job doing. A.J. Brown, 3 catches, 38 yards. Mm-hmm. The tight ends are running free.
Yeah, rough shot. Just completely open.
Fersker, 3 catches, 33 yards. Pruitt, not even touched for a 14-yard touchdown.
Was that his only catch, too?
That was his only
One catch. Touchdown.
Reynolds, at the tight end spot, because he was playing inside slot, had a catch that converted for a first down. McNichols, the running back, playing as a slot receiver, 2 catches, 26 yards. So trying to take away Derrick Henry and slowing down A.J. Brown leads to wide open tight ends and secondary receivers,
Yeah. Yeah.
which led to the Derrick Henry show in the second half.
Definitely was stuffed in the first half, 30 yards rushing completely. That's all he had off 11 touches, and then second half was just a different
First
story.
half, 30 yards. Second half, he finishes with 29 carries, 130 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So, speaking with Trevor, he's still optimistic. He's happy. He gave me a nice 3-minute answer to a question about how he's seeing the field and how he's progressing and how, he's going to miss Linder because he was an excellent center, protecting him, and a good guy in the locker room, and that he's seeing things a little bit differently. The game's slowing down. He actually had a pretty good game. 273 yards, 1 touchdown, and that mistake at the end of the game.
He forced that pick. He forced it.
He also had a rushing touchdown. I'm not going to call him a vulture because he's the quarterback, but that was a good.
Thank you for tuning in to that video. That was Alex Fleming's last video that he posted hours before him passing away. Alex, you will be extremely missed. I'm so upset that this happened to you. And I am going to do whatever it takes to excel in this field because I know that's what you wanted. You always had great advice for me, always shared my content, and always pushed me to do better. And I will never forget you. And your legacy will live on. So thank you guys for tuning in and allowing me to get that off my chest. And we are going to start the Tom Gronkowski Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the Tom Gronkowski Show. My name is Ruth the Truth, and I am joined with my co-host, Coach Jay Morgan. We are here to bring you the best of Tampa Bay Bucks football. Now, it's this show concentrate on Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and their move from the Beantown to the Bay, brought to you by Fans Only Sports Network. If you guys could do us a favor, go ahead and hit that share button down below. Make sure everybody is aware of this great Tampa Bay Bucks content that we are putting out on week-to-week basis. And yeah, just make sure you're coming back every Wednesday. We are going live between 9 and 10 o'clock. It depends on what's going on that day because Coach Jay and I are busy people. But we are here to bring you some Tampa Bay Bucks talk. Now, week 5 is in the books. The Miami Dolphins game was an early game against the Tampa Bay Bucks at the Raymond James Stadium, a 1 o'clock game. So it was very, very, very hot out. That was definitely one of the times that I wish I was in the press box because the press box is always like so temperature controlled. It's like 70 degrees in there the whole time. You're nice, cool, comfortable when you're in your blazer, looking great. But I went as a fan this time around. I was joined with my Tampa Sports Bay, my partner in crime, and we went to the Miami Dolphins game and sat in the lower bowl and got to experience a 1 o'clock game as a fan. And let me tell you, I did not stop sweating the whole entire time. I had to stop drinking beer after the second beer because I was getting lightheaded. So it was water the rest of the way, trying to stay hydrated because I wasn't trying to pass out. But it was a great game. 45 points, possibly almost 50 after Tom Brady was taken out of the game late in the fourth quarter because, I mean, there was no way the Dolphins were coming back. So why leave in your starters? So a lot of the starters were taken out. A lot of our second string was put in. Blaine Gabbert got a lot of playing time as Tom Brady took a seat. And yeah, 45-17 against the Miami Dolphins. Now, a lot of us expected and anticipated this to be a win. This was already a win in the column before this game came along, but 45 points. And it could have possibly been 52 if the Bucks would have kept playing. But I would say the last 2 minutes, they just started kneeling because they were like, you know what? We're already up by 20-something points. What's the point? Like, let's just, it's hot out. Let's just get these guys off the field. And that's exactly what they did. The Dolphins only scored 17 points at the Raymond James Stadium. So Coach Jay and I will be giving you our week 5 breakdown. After that, we're going to be talking about Tom Brady, and the NFL has announced that he is the NFC Offensive Player of the Week again. So congratulations to Brady the GOAT. Surprise, surprise. Antonio Brown also was rewarded something and kind of made history for the NFL. So we'll also be talking about that. Rob Gronkowski was not seen on the field. He was on the sideline wearing shorts and a t-shirt, definitely not suited up. And it's kind of questionable whether he is going to be available anytime soon. Later on in the show, I'm definitely going to be talking about Leonard Fournette and his playing time and what he's been able to accomplish on the field because everybody knows that Coach Jay is not that big of a fan of Mr. Lombardi Lenny, but I think we could start calling him regular season Lenny, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have a hard time trying to convince Coach of that, but let me bring in my buddy, my co-host, my friend, Coach Jay Morgan. How are you doing?
I'm great.
You're great.
Yeah, just tired. Working on the weekend like usual.
Isn't that a line to like a song or something?
Working on the weekend like usual. Way off in the deep end like usual.
Welcome back to the Tom Gronkowski Show. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm sorry I was a little bit late, but there was a lot going on. I just got back into town. A lot of craziness happening. But how are you doing? Like, you're doing good? Like,
I'll show you my dance. Can I show you my dance to show you how I'm doing?
Oh, yeah. I think the audience would just love to see
Y'all
that.
ready to go? Hold up. Let me hit it down real quick.
Oh, here we go. About to break the moves on us.
Will you pop it? Every time you move, you got to move.
What do we call that? What moves do we call that?
I just be doing it. I'm like, will you rock? I even do when I'm at work.
All right, Coach. Maybe we could think of a TikTok dance so we could let that go viral. But let's talk about this Week 5 game. The Miami Dolphins, who is Tua Tagovailoa because Tua Tagovailoa is still dealing with injury. So we had Jacoby Brissett playing. He didn't have that terrible of a game. There was a couple times where took advantage of our secondary. There was some holes in the defense that he took advantage of. Myles Gaskins had a pretty decent game as well. But overall, what did you think of the Tampa Bay's Buccaneers performance in Week 5?
We could do better. We're supposed to blow out the Dolphins.
Better than 45 points?
Yeah, we could put up 60 on them, 62.
Imagine.
I know we could if everybody just played for real the entire game, we'd be good. That holes in the defense is really killing me because I keep saying it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. I keep saying it every week. I don't trust the defensive backs. That's bad. I don't even trust them against Southport High School right now.
Oh my God.
That's bad.
That is pretty bad.
I don't trust them at all because you're telling me that those front seven have to make sure that they give pressure continuously. So what are we going to do when we're blitzing and then we going against a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or somebody that knows what they're doing and they know that if we blitz to replace a guy right there where we just left, then what?
Right.
We don't have Rob. Rob is hurt. He'll be back. Rob, take your time.
Unfortunately, Rob Gronkowski has been ruled out for the Week 6 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles that is going to be live tomorrow at Lincoln Financial Stadium. They are going to take another away game after having, was it 2 home games in a row? I think so. If I'm not mistaken, they had 2 home games in a row after coming off of the road. Well, no, they played the Rams in week. Okay, so they had the Rams in week 4.
3.
No, week 3. Patriots in week 4. And then Miami Dolphins week 5. Now they're going back on the road to Lincoln Financial, which is not the easiest stadium to play in. You know, those Philadelphia fans can be extremely lethal. And our injury report is not looking good. We have Levante David, our linebacker, that got hurt during that Miami Dolphins game and did not return. He was not a participant in practice all week. He has been ruled out for the Philadelphia Eagles game tomorrow night with a high ankle sprain, which is something you never want to see because those ankles can be tricky when it comes to the healing process and when they're going to be able to come back, because I myself had terrible ankles. And just, I would say about 2 years ago when I was playing for the Disney League, I came down on somebody's foot and rolled my ankle. And it ballooned up like right away, but thank God it was just a small sprain. But I wasn't able to run full speed for, I want to say, almost 8 weeks. So when you hear number 54, Levante David, one of our star linebackers, who was who played such a key role in that Super Bowl win against the Kansas City Chiefs, well, how are you feeling about our linebackers right now? Because Levante David is such a huge entity on that position. Are we a little worried?
Next man step up. I don't get worried. The only thing I'm worried about is the defensive backs, because now since we lost a leader out of that front 7, now we only have the front 6 because now we're going to have to put somebody else in there.
Right.
I'm not worried about the linebacker core. That spot per se, the reason why it's so important is because we don't have nobody else. We already scrambling in the backfield. We don't need no other delays in that front 7 that we have. So I'm not really worried about the linebackers or the defensive line because next man step up. That's why you in the NFL. But at the same time, I'm worried about the defensive backs.
Yeah. And when you say next man up, it's got to be Shaquille Barrett, also playing in that starting linebacker position that had such a key role against that win in the Super Bowl. And he showed a little bit more excitement. He was definitely more involved and applied a lot of pressure on Jacoby Brissett. And I think he played a lot better than he has in the first 4 weeks. So things are looking better when it comes to that linebacker position. They're getting more involved because, like I always say, the defenses always take some time to get acclimated to their game plan. And it takes some, I would say like halfway through the season is when things really start to click because they're able to watch film. They're able to learn these different offenses, the way they're signing up. They're getting used to these play action, and they're just getting more in shape as the season goes on. So as much as we're putting a lot of pressure on our defense, I know that things are looking up.
I put pressure on the whole defense, just defensive backs. I just don't trust them. Everybody else, I trust y'all. Y'all been doing it since day one. Defensive backs, y'all been doing what y'all still doing since day one. Because if everybody go back and watch season 1, you're going to hear me say, defensive backs.
Right.
Now, right before we got in the playoffs last year, I said it's gonna come down to the defensive backs. Defensive backs showed up and played 2 to 3 games good. And those were the most important 2 to 3 games of the season. So, hey, they kicked it when they needed to. Now we're back at the same square root one, starting over again. And we act like we ain't never played defense before. It's not really hard. People don't really do that much in NFL. A lot of people think they be going because they play Madden. So they think it's we go cover 9 and cover 6. And no, you don't. No, that's only if you got like a certain scheme for that team or that player. That's the only way. They go man all the time.
Yeah.
You will see cover 2 sometimes, and then you will see cover 3 sometimes, because every quarterback knows that when you see a safety come down, you're going to throw it right there exactly where he left.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I would definitely give credit to Tom Brady and his offense, because they were able to pick apart that man defense that the Miami Dolphins, which I don't know if that was their initial game plan, but you don't play man-to-man against a high-power offense like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have, because we were able to tear them apart. Mike Evans scored 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown scored 2 touchdowns, and Leonard Fournette scored a touchdown as well. So 5 touchdowns for Tom Brady, 411 yards. His percentage was absolutely fantastic. He has 144.4 passing rating as a quarterback, and he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Well-deserved. At 44 years old, he's still killing it. Almost had 41 completions. He had 30 out of 41 completions for 411 yards and 5 touchdowns. Does it look like Brady's slowing down at all? I mean, after the Dolphins game, he was seen with his throwing on his throwing hand. He had his thumb taped up. And in the first day of practice, when the media got a hold of that information and when they were able to see him that he was very limited in practice, that was one of their questions: is Brady, is your thumb okay? Is this something that we need to be worried about? And keep it calm, cool, collected. Brady let them know that this was not a major injury. It was not even worth speaking of, but it was more of just a discomfort that he was handling. And he was hoping by Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles that he would be back to normal. Does that worry you at all?
No. As long as the offensive line does not let the little sister get touched, then we shouldn't be worried about nothing. I mean, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. The man's 40-some years old. Technically, I'm just going to say it, he's only 1 hit away from it being over. Technically. That's a true beer. Technically, he's only 1 hit away from it being over. It only takes 1. Now, with that being said, offensive line, if you want to keep your job, since I said that, I advise you not to let nobody even be close enough to breathe on his neck. Keep him back, because these last couple of games, I've been seeing him get touched a little bit too much to my liking. I don't like that, because then if he gets hurt, then what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to put Trask. You trust him?
Blaine Gabbert would definitely be the next man up.
I don't trust him either. I still remember him with the Jags. I don't know. You better protect your diamond in the rough before you let it get tarnished. Okay? So, offensive line, hear me. Listen good. That is your little sister back there. Do not let no one even get close enough to breathe on their neck. Period.
That's the most important thing about your offensive line, is the protection that they have for your quarterback, because that's what they're there for. You guys are not 300-pound men for no reason. You need to contain that wall. You need to contain that defensive line, and they're doing better and better as the season goes on. But as you said, at 44 years old, you want to make sure that Tom Brady is untouchable.
1 hit away.
Sadly true.
That's what they need to put in their minds. He is 1 hit away from being tarnished, and then your football season at the beginning started looking like when Boobie Miles got hurt, because then you ain't gonna know what to do. You ain't gonna Mike Winchell. You ready? What I supposed to do? Yeah, I know, because you ain't never took no reps.
You
One
bring up a
pick
valid
away.
point.
Don't let them get touch.
Yes.
Period. I don't understand that. See, a lot of people, like the truth always tell y'all, I love defense. I can coach it all, but I love defense. There ain't that many rules. We can kill whoever we want to kill at any time, as long as we do it legally. So with that being said, I'm going to give y'all a little secret about my defenses. This is all I say in every defense I've ever coached. Kill the quarterback. Kill him. I want him done by the first half. By the end of the first half, he better be tattooed more than 5 times. Now, with that being said, is there other people out there that say that? Yes. They probably say it in other words. I'm going to say the real words that I say. Kill him. Get rid of him right now.
Put in the work.
I've won a game, 2 games in a row. We didn't even make it to halftime because we killed a quarterback. I emphasized that the entire time. Practice till we got to the first jamboree, till we got to the first regular season game. You are to kill this quarterback every play. Do you understand me? So we kill number QB1, then QB2. Then they had a lineman that had to play quarterback. And then the coach, I told my team, because they're looking at me, and I'm like, watch this. He about to call me to the center and tell me that he want to quit. And they was like, no, coach, ain't going to do that. Watch. Coach, come here. Told you. Watch this. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and line up. Just get ready. The game's over with. They ain't got no more quarterbacks. And then my team mad at me like, coach, we want to keep playing. You kill the quarterback. We ended the game quickly. Keep killing quarterbacks.
Right.
I want quarterbacks hit. Hit them. Now.
Talking about a quarterback that is alive and thriving is Tom Brady, and he made Buccaneers history with having the most consistent throws without an interception, with 203 consistent throws without a single reception or interception. And that is something that they definitely exploited during that game. In the Dolphins, they had a whole announcement. They put the camera on Brady, and his reaction to it was like, this is just another Sunday. Like, he didn't even, he showed no emotion towards the announcement. The crowd was going crazy, and he was just like, okay,
just Tom Brady.
We're still playing, guys. I really don't. Emotionalist, and he didn't even give like the princess wave, like nothing. Like, he was just like stone cold, like focused in the game, because that's what matters to him. And you know what? That's what makes Tom Brady the GOAT.
He don't care about
he doesn't care about. Yeah, exactly. My point exactly. He does not care about these NFC Offensive Player of the Week. That is something that is just. I mean, he's probably stacked 14 of those so far in his NFL career, probably the most out of any quarterback ever has. So definitely doesn't care about that. He's more focused on the rings. Now,
jewelry.
There was another Tampa Bay Buccaneer who was put on blast for making a great accomplishment and made NFL history with Antonio Brown being the quickest NFL wide receiver to make it to 900 catches.
Yeah, he is.
Now, it's crazy to think that, because, I mean, for a while, like, Antonio Brown wasn't even on a roster. Like, there was a lot of juggling with where he was going to end up. He was with the Steelers, but there was a stink going on with that. And then he went to the Raiders, and then that didn't work out. And the Raiders is just a whole nother conversation that we are going to have later on in the show, with the whole John Gruden debacle and these uncovered emails that are all of a sudden surfacing that are about 10 years of age. But Antonio Brown, congratulations, the fastest NFL wide receiver to make it to 9 receptions. And during the press conference after the game, Antonio Brown was very happy. He was very joyful, had a lot of positive things to say, but he thanked Tom Brady and his encouragement and everything that he's been able to do to revitalize his career. So Antonio Brown is doing an excellent job as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and I'm glad to see him healthy out there on the field. Now, some of the other injury reports that people might not know is Ryan Jensen was very limited in practice. Now, he is the starting center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He did not participate at all in practice on Monday. He was very limited in practice on Tuesday, and he was a full participant in practice today, but his game status is still questionable. Now, the center is a very, very
Yeah.
important job.
He better play. He better play.
I'm hoping he plays, and I don't think we're going to lean on the rookie Ryan Jensen. We also have Ali Marpet that might be able to step into that position, but that is something you never want to see is your center going down with a hip injury. We also have Jason Pierre-Paul, who was playing with a glove, so he's not back to his full health. We have Giovanni Bernard, who actually had a pretty good game as well. He ran in a touchdown for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Antonio Brown was a full participant, but still has that lingering knee. Jamel Dean, one of the cornerbacks that went down in injury during the Rams game, if I'm not mistaken, he was a full participant in practice, and he will most likely play in this tomorrow night's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. We also have Ryan Suckup that made it on the injury report with a back injury, but he was full participant in practice as well. Chris Godwin, the wide receiver, had a knee and ankle. He was limited in practice on Monday and Tuesday, but was a full participant in practice this coming Wednesday. And his status has not been announced, but we're hoping that we have him full force against the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow night. So we have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin, who is all on track to hit 1,000 yards this season. Coach, please tell me, who do you think is going to be the first Tampa Bay Buccaneer wide receiver to make it to 1,000 yards? And why?
AB. Because we use Mike Evans mostly as a decoy. Because they already know the damage that he can do. He's been doing it for years by himself with Jameis. So AB the one that.
Yeah, he's got the moves. And let me tell you, that man is fast.
Yeah, when he gets the ball.
Fast as F, boy. Like, super fast. I mean, seeing him live does not seeing him on television, does not suffice for how he is in reality, because that boy is fast. He's not that tall. He's not that tall of a guy, so he doesn't have like very long leg extremities, but the man is quick. And I think he might be the quickest one to 1,000 yards as well. So I'm going to agree with you there. So, yeah.
Right? He's so fast.
I think so. I think so. I think Antonio Brown definitely has, now that he has half a season under his belt, coming in after week 8 of last season, and now we're going into week 6, and he looks great. I believe that he was ruled out for only one game this season so far because of that knee injury, but he is back to action and he looks great. So Antonio Brown will probably be the first wide receiver to 1,000 yards.
Man,
why not? The man's been through a lot.
I'm gonna tell you why. The man is so fast. He makes fast people look not fast. That's how fast he is. He gone. All
right. Well, we're getting to the halfway point of the show. We appreciate you rocking with us on the Tom Gronkowski Show with Ruth the Truth and Coach Jay Morgan, brought to you by Fans Only Sports Network. Make sure to go to the YouTube page and give them a subscription so you can keep up with us every Wednesday as we go live between 9 and 10 o'clock. But without further ado, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about our expectations for tomorrow night's game for a Thursday night football matchup at Lincoln Financial Stadium against the Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And then we're going to talk about some news going around the league. And there is still one team left standing with an undefeated record at 5-0. And we'll talk about that when we get back.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is, when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion, or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, you know, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Shout out to Odyssey Group International for all the work that they have been putting in to help these concussion protocols be more smoother for the NFL, so these players can have a long and fulfilling life after they leave the football field. And we got to talk about this real quick, the WNBA Finals that is taking place tonight. Now we are going into Game 2 against the Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury. Candace Parker and the Chicago Sky are leading this series 1-0. Now, at Game 2 tonight, they're at their halfway point they're in halftime right now, and the score is 40-40.
That's right.
So these ladies are putting in this work, and make sure to I believe the game is on ESPN if I'm not mistaken, but
That's right.
ESPN. Go check out this WNBA Finals because it is one for the books. We have GOAT against GOAT. We have Candace Parker against Diana Taurasi, two of the most exemplified NBA player or WNBA players right now, and those women are beasts. So make sure to give them a watch.
I love you, Candace. I love you. I hope
Candace is amazing. Like
I've loved you since Tennessee. You won
I
me
just wish she
$75.
could. I wish she could play basketball and be as elite as she is, and then also still do the broadcasting because I just love the way that she handles her own and holds her own on that television set. She has always been one of my favorite players to watch. She got drafted in the WNBA when I was like a freshman in high school.
I think I was a senior.
It was a long time ago. If I'm not mistaken, she got drafted in 2011. I gotta double check on that. But
I graduated in 07. But I
so
did
it's longer?
I graduated in 2007. All I know is when she was a volunteer, she won me $75. She made the game go to overtime with the 3. Then they get him in the same situation. 3, 2, 1, and Candace Parker.
She was drafted. Yeah, I was right. My freshman year of high school, she was drafted in the WNBA in 2008. The game has just kicked off for their third quarter. Score is 42-42. The Phoenix Mercury have a must-win game tonight, so make sure to look out for that. That game is live broadcasted on ESPN. Coach Jay Morgan, let's talk about some Week 6 expectations for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be playing for Thursday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Stadium. Jalen Hurts, do you think he could, I don't know, maybe try to resemble a Taylor Heineke that gave the defensive some difficulty in that playoff matchup last season? What are your expectations for Jalen Hurts and his Philadelphia Eagles? Do you really think that they're going to pose a threat? Because we don't want to, act like they're not a real team because they are. They were able to get some wins this season. So what are your expectations for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles?
My expectations for the Eagles is to protect Hurts. Like, you guys just sit there and watch him get killed and you don't even help him up. I don't know what's going on in the locker room. There must be something said.
They're still missing Carson Watch.
I watch stuff like that. You're not helping the guy up. You're watching him get killed. It looks like y'all touch the guy and then y'all let him go and just kill your quarterback, or you push the guy to your quarterback. I don't understand why.
Yeah. The Eagles have two wins so far this season. In Week 1, they beat up and bullied the Atlanta Falcons, beating them what was the score? 32-6. And then they went on to play the 49ers and lost 17-11. Then they played my Dallas Cowboys and got spanked 21-41. And then they faced the Chiefs as well and lost 42-30. Then they actually beat the Carolina Panthers
They can't.
Are the Panthers in trouble?
No, they're just
They've
not
lost.
an
If
elite
I'm not
team
mistaken, they've lost 2 games in a row now.
because they're not an elite team. The Eagles can beat teams that are not elite teams. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers walk in there and let Jalen Hurts, I ain't say Wentz, Hurts, the guy that looks directly at the receiver he throwing, he might do a second read, but he's eyeballing the guy that he's going to go to. If y'all sit there and let him torch y'all defensive back, fire all them, Todd Bowles. Fire all them. Right now, please, I can play defensive back. Just give me 2 months. I get in shape. Please.
You think you can play defensive back in the NFL?
If we playing coverage, I ain't playing.
How tall are you, Coach Shay?
I am 5'11".
5'11".
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you gotta have some speed on you, and you gotta have some weight on you.
You just gotta have footwork.
And footwork.
That's why I said coverage. I got a ladder that's outside. That's no money. I still make little young bucks look stupid because I got footwork. And even the older people say he's not really doing anything fancy. He just has footwork. That's it. I'm not getting tired. They doing too much because they stumbling everywhere. And I'm just hands and footwork. And you got to be mean. I ain't playing no man. And if we are playing man, my man is the tight end.
We're not expecting him to run far. Speaking of tight ends, if Rob Gronkowski, well, obviously he was ruled out against the Miami Dolphins. We saw him on the sidelines in his T-shirt and ball cap and his shorts, definitely not ready to play. And he was very limited practice this week. But, I mean, Coach said that there was a little bit of a chance. But since they dropped the injury report early this morning after their practice, it seems like he's going to be ruled out against the Philadelphia Eagles. So is O.J. Howard going to be the O.J. Howard we expected when we drafted him? He was targeted 3 times against the Miami Dolphins game, had 2 receptions for 19 yards, showed a little bit of glimpse of a something. Is O.J. Howard going to be that guy?
He better be.
For the Bucks.
He better be, because now's the time to actually retain your spot. Like, I know you're not going to get it back fully, but at least be in the rotation. Because right now, if Gronk ain't there and you ain't producing, you're probably going to get canned. Bye.
True.
We'll get somebody else. Because right now, this is the time to show out. Gronk out. Show up. Show out.
Exactly. This is your time to shine, because when Rob Gronkowski comes back and is a full participant and healthy, you know Gronk is going to be that guy. So let's talk a little bit about our running backs. I know you're not a huge fan of Leonard Fournette, but he played good.
It's the Dolphins. He
hasn't been fumbling the ball.
My grandmother could beat the Dolphins.
Okay, but Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins have a good defense.
They are right.
Decent defense. Say that 5 times fast.
They are right. Decent defense. Decent defense. Decent defense. Decent defense. Decent defense.
All right. So
all they got is Xavier Howard. That's it. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. That's all they got. All they got. I was in a Miami Dolphins game one time. The Mugs was playing half man on one side of the field and coverage on the other side. Any real football person that knows X's and O's know if I'm on the side with the coverage, I'm just going to run over there to the opposite side because the other guys took the guys that are in man, and I'm going to be wide open. Seeing stuff like that irks me. It makes me cringe. I don't like that. Why are you in half man, half coverage? That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah, the Dolphins kind of slipped up in that man coverage in that first half of the game, and the Bucks kind of took advantage early in the third and made a lot happen. Mike Evans was seen wide open a few times, and Brady hit him with that wide open shot where he ran in for the touchdown, and just a lot of mishaps for Brian Flores and the Miami Dolphins. But all right, so who is going to go off in Philly tomorrow night out of our offensive weapons that we have? Who do you think is going to be that player that's going to excel against the Philadelphia Eagles and their defense?
AB, is going to be one. I think Godwin is going to be the other one.
I have a feeling that we're going to be running the ball. I have a feeling that we're going to be running the ball a lot.
Okay, then in that case,
because if Brady's got a sore thumb, he's probably not going to be throwing the ball 40 times a game.
He shouldn't be throwing the ball 40 times a game anyway, and he's 40-some years old. You're going to kill that old man. Come on now.
It's true.
All you got to do is just run the ball, then boom, play action. Boom, right there, wide open. I don't understand why we're still, because it's Tom.
You're right. No, I get that. I think that at his age and at his at his stature, that he probably should be taking advantage of that run game more. I think Leonard Fournette is really starting to be acclimated to that offense. He really seems to be dialed into Brian Leftwich's game plans, and him and Brady just seem to be like on the same page. I like what I see. I like what I see on the field.
I don't trust him.
Still don't trust him? All right. So
I don't like him.
You got Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette. Who are you taking?
Rojo.
Yeah, but Rojo hasn't been impressive. Rojo hasn't been the Ronald Jones that we saw in the 2020 season when he ran for 98 yards against the Carolina Panthers. We haven't really seen that Ronald Jones. He's been making a lot of mistakes, and I think Leonard Fournette has been deserving of a lot of those carries.
Okay. From a coaching standpoint, if the man is coughing up the ball and he's fumbling the ball, me personally, Rojo, sit down until you tell me that you can take care of my football. You're not giving it away. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't trust Fournette because I've seen how he is. But, as a coaching standpoint, if he's doing good now, I'm going to roll with the guy that's doing good right now.
Right.
In the back of my mind, I am really cheering for Rojo.
Right. All right. Well, we got a quick video that we're going to play before we jump into the news around the NFL. This is Bruce Arians and his press conference following Week 5 against the Miami Dolphins. Listen in.
Same as yesterday. Everything was a walkthrough. The little bit he threw around, I didn't see any pain or anything like that. So.
And also, I know we talked to you yesterday about Antoine Winfield Jr. Has there been any progress on his front, if he might be able to clear the protocol?
He's still in the protocol, and he was limited today. We'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll go to Greg Auman.
Bruce, I know you had said it was kind of close to call on Rob Gronkowski. When would you know whether he could go Thursday, whether he'll travel with the team with you, that kind of thing?
Probably after tomorrow, the final day, see how he does. And he's made really good progress.
Thank you.
You bet.
We'll go to Sarah Walsh. If media have questions, please raise your hand.
Hey, Bruce, the concussion protocol, just remind me with Antoine, is that something he would have to pass before he gets on the plane, or is that something you can test in Philly? Can he still get cleared in Philly? I just didn't know if he has to clear it before you guys leave or how that works.
Yeah, if he can't clear before we get on the plane, we won't take him. There's no need flying and doing all those things. So if he can't go, we'll rule him out.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yep.
Anyone else? Oh, we'll go back to Greg Auman.
Bruce, if Gronk can't go on Thursday, you don't have two active tight ends on the 53. Would you have to basically promote McElroy or something at that point just to have three, or could you get by with only two?
We could get by with two, but we'll see how that goes with the other guys. We've got about three different spots there that we're looking at whether or not we would elevate somebody else or not.
Okay, thank you.
We'll go to Rick Stroud.
Bruce, Tom Brady's always been the guy, that throws to the open receiver. I mean, that's where the ball's going to go, or at least that's his intention. But in him learning your offense and seeing what those, possibilities are, I mean, how much more adept is he at it now of reading it, correctly more often than not?
Yeah, much better, Rick. I mean, he has total understanding of it now. And, when he's saying things, there's pictures now. And I always say when a quarterback calls a plays, he's a picture. Last year, there were just words, and now there's pictures and he can think about coverage and he can put the whole thing together. And well, we're talking about 1.5 seconds, 2
Right.
seconds before all that has to happen. And yeah, he can do that now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We'll go back to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, I caught up with Coach Ross the other day, and he was just praising the veteran corners that you now have in your room that are kind of leading these young guys, even though the young guys are coming back from injuries. And I didn't know if, granted, they've only been here for a little while, but if you have noticed any instances, whether it's in the classroom or in practice or even in games, where some of these young guys like a Jamel Dean have, maybe the light has come on for them, or they're understanding something a little bit clearer because they have guys like Richard Sherman and Pierre Desir in their meeting room.
Yeah, I think, Jen, that's anytime you have a Pro Bowl player come in your room, you want to get all the information from him as you can. He's played a long time. He's kept himself in great shape. So there's so much you can learn from those type of guys. And it's always good to have them. We haven't had that type of guy in that room for a little bit, so it's nice to have him now.
All right, that was Bruce Arians and the press conference following practice on Tuesday. Now, obviously, this was yesterday. Now that we have gotten closer to Thursday Night Football, Antoine Winfield Jr. is ruled out against the Philadelphia Eagles, which is a huge blow for that defensive side of the ball. Rob Gronkowski as well has been ruled out going into the Philadelphia game. And we have Levante David is also ruled out. So we have 3 players that so far have been ruled out. We have 3 more with Ryan Jensen, Patrick O'Connor, and Jason Pierre-Paul that are going to be questionable as their status going into tomorrow's game. Go ahead, Coach.
I got a question. Are these people like hurt or injured?
What's the difference?
See, when you're hurt, that means it just hurts. You can still play. When you're injured, that means something's broken. Real serious stuff. So
yeah, I would say the Levante David injury with a high ankle sprain is an injury.
Real. That's real.
So Rob Gronkowski with the ribs, that's real. And Antoine Winfield Jr. with the concussion, obviously nothing's broken, but he is hurt. And because
Odyssey,
I know, right?
Hurry up and do this stuff, man.
Let's plug you in right here. This is your call. This is your moment.
Odyssey.
Cue Odyssey. Let's go.
Since we have Kurt Warner on that commercial, Kurt Warner has a new movie coming out by itself.
What's it called?
The American something. But I've always said for years before they even had a movie, he is the American dream. He was a grocery bagger and then Super Bowl MVP. You hear that, children? Dreams do come true.
They really, really do. So keep dreaming, because as long as you work hard every day, you can accomplish anything. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. Coach Jay, let's talk about some NFL news that is buzzing around. John Gruden has resigned as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, in his with him resigning, obviously this was very unexpected. There have been emails that have been surfacing dated back from 2011 and 2018 about him making racial comments and homophobic slurs in emails to other coaches and other people around the league. Now, Keyshawn Johnson, NFL Super Bowl winning champion, won the championship with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under John Gruden for Super Bowl 37, has come out and said he is not surprised that that quote unquote, this man is a fraud. He also went on First Take and said that he should be a used car salesman, that he does not belong as a head coach in the NFL. Coach Shea, what was your initial reaction when you found out that John Gruden was no longer going to be the head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders?
I thought it was because he lost to the Bears. Because if you lose to the Bears, you fired. Get out of here. Don't even worry about getting your stuff. Somebody have it in a box outside for you. Don't worry. We'll get it. So that's why I thought. But then, like, I was on the phone with my auntie, and TT was like, she said, oh, he was way more than that. He was doing this, and this. I'm like, what? But then I'm thinking, his mouth pops off. Everybody know John Gruden mouth be popping off, but we ain't never heard it pop off like that. See, now you're saying stuff behind closed doors that you ain't trying to say out loud. Because, you know, if you say something like that in front of one of them players, they're going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Especially Keyshawn Johnson. I don't even like Keyshawn. I think he needs to shut his mouth. He always been running it for years. He needs to shut up.
Yeah.
But I got to be on his side because he is telling the truth. So, yes, he's right. The way John Gruden does remind me of a car salesman. He can be with Harry Wormwood, and they can get all kinds of guys and people's Trunchables, all that. Get them all going with all them used cars.
Right. See, I was never a huge fan of John Gruden, and I worked alongside Martin Gramatica. Shout out to Martin, Otimatica Gramatica. I worked alongside Martin for about 8 months on his sports television show, and the conversation of John Gruden had came up quite a bit. Now, he never really wanted to give Gruden the credit of winning the Super Bowl 37. He said that was all Tony Dungy, all the work Dungy had put in with the team, creating that positive culture, kind of shaping these NFL players to not only be players, but to be real men in real life. Now, he gave a lot of credit to Dungy and said Gruden kind of just came in at the perfect time. And as I saw on Twitter, which was a great explanation, Tony Dungy mixed the batter, he mixed the oil, he put the cake batter in the Tupperware, whatever you use to cook a cake, and he put it in the oven. All Gruden did was make sure the cake did not burn and pull it out when it needed to be finished. Now, would you agree that Tony Dungy probably deserves more credit than John Gruden himself for Super Bowl 37?
For years, I have been hearing this. Yes, it was the defense, the Warren Sapps, and the
Derrick Brooks.
The Derrick Brooks. Oh, the Derrick Brooks. I like that commercial. Yeah, so I give that. It's just like when Tony Dungy was with the Colts and then he left. He did the same thing with Jim Caldwell. Hey, man, they know what to do. You just got to make sure you watch the cake. When it's done, then you just pull that mug out, okay? It's a little shake and a little bake.
Yeah, I could agree with you. I was never a huge fan of John Gruden. I didn't really like his approach. I thought he was a little bit too theatrical to be a head coach. I was kind of surprised when the Las Vegas Raiders decided to give him that 10-year contract for like $100 million or something crazy like that. And I was just like,
guaranteed.
That's pretty crazy. And
regardless if I coach or not, I still got my money.
I wonder how that works now with this whole debacle. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers announced almost immediately after he resigned that he was going to be removed from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor, which is a huge deal. So things are definitely crashing down with all this investigation going on with these old emails.
They gonna do that? They treating that man like O.J. Simpson. These are not my gloves. Oh my God. Yeah,
all right, well, this is definitely not a comparison to O.J. Simpson, but yes, I know what you mean. Like
when they took the Heisman and all that from him.
Yeah, I mean,
man, I already won that stuff. You can't take nothing from me if I already won it.
I just think in the age of 2021, the NFL and other major franchises have been super big on the racial, the homophobic, all that kind of stuff. That does not fly anymore. It is no longer the 1980s where you could say things and people just kind of brush it off. No, things are taken seriously now. And comparing a man's lips to Michelin tires, that is just kind of immature. Like, why would you think that's even okay to write? As you're typing that up, do you not reread your email and be like, maybe I shouldn't say that?
No, he was too busy smiling with a smirk on his face. Michelin tire. Yeah.
Right. He thought he was funny. Well, joke's on you, buddy. Now you no longer are a head coach in the NFL and you have been removed from the Ring of Honor. And there's only a matter of time before things just crash and burn for Mr. John Gruden.
Tarnishing the legacy. Tarnishing the legacy.
Absolutely. And that's a huge distraction for the Las Vegas Raiders right now, who have just lost to the Chicago Bears, who were embarrassed against the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday Night Football. And yeah, I mean, they started off kind of doing all right, which is usually how they start the season.
Undefeated. And then
Right. Because
boom.
they won against the Ravens in week 1. They won against the Steelers in week 2. They beat the Dolphins in week 3 in overtime. They lost against the Chargers. Then they lost against the Bears, only putting up 9 points against the Bears on week 5. And then now they're going to go against the Denver Broncos. They got the Philadelphia Eagles. They got the Raiders and the Chiefs coming up. So
They should.
really, really bad timing with how everything has been unfolding for the Raiders. I feel bad for Derek Carr because I think he's a good quarterback. I believe that he deserves to be in a good franchise, good foundation where he has the key pieces around him, and having a head coach that knows what the heck he's doing and is out of the headlines for other than drama is very, very important. So
you already said, right?
What?
Derek Carr, he said, I love the man, hate the sin.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Hate the sin. Like,
absolutely.
Guys you can love, but you just tell them straight up, man, I love you, but you effed up. You effed up. You know you weren't supposed to say that. And
yeah, messed up bad. Now he's a big distraction, and the Raiders organization is kind of in shambles at the moment. They have Rich Bisaccia, who is going to be the interim head coach, who was the special teams coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under John Gruden when they won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 37. And when I was on the Martin Gramatica show, we did a lot of interviews with past coaches, players, this, that, and the third. We also talked to Rich Bisaccia during an episode, and he was an extremely knowledgeable guy, had a great camera presence. I know he knows what he's doing in the locker room. So hopefully things will smooth out for the Raiders before this season comes to an end, but not really looking good for Mr. John Gruden.
Bisaccia. Come
exactly.
On.
That's what I thought. He's Italian too. So very, very Italian.
Got that pinky ring.
Accent. Yeah, I think he's somewhere from like Staten Island or somewhere like that. He's got that accent.
That's Daddy here.
Yeah, he's super easy to talk to. Really nice guy. All right, moving on to some NFL news. The Arizona Cardinals are still undefeated. The only undefeated NFL team as of right now. We have a couple 4-1 teams. Couple 4-1 teams around the league, including my Cowboys. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also 4-1.
Russell Wilson disappointed me.
What?
Russell Wilson disappointed me. I have nothing to say to him right now. Matter of fact, I hope Future calls me. That's how mad he is. That's how mad he is. Yo, middle finger. I seen Matt Stafford get pummeled when he was playing with the Detroit Lions for years and years, and he's still out there with a messed up shoulder, messed up fingers, and you can't put it on the line.
I really think that the Seahawks could have came back and won that game.
Right? And Geno played like he played.
Geno Smith. Yeah, it was that game was a disappointment. Was it a Thursday night game or was it a Sunday? I can't remember now.
Wait, what was it Sunday? No. Thursday.
Let's see.
Thursday.
I think it was a Thursday night game.
Sure, it was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, they don't have people that be saying the words to these players because they think because they a star, I'm supposed to fluff your balls. No. Hey, this is the show. Hey, this is your job. Are you hurt or are you injured? I'm injured. So it's broke. No, it's a little jam. Give it to me. Wiggle.
He banged it off of Aaron Donald's helmet so hard that as he's walking off the field, like you just saw his middle finger all discombobulated.
So pull it is just jammed. I do it all the time to people. I say,
but sometimes it don't work because I jammed my thumb a couple weeks ago.
Let me do
playing football, and I tried that whole pulling thing all day, and it just swelled up right at the joint. So
let me do it. I sit there, I wiggle, and I talk to you, and I be like, "Hey, so what you have earlier to eat?" Oh, I had this.
I think the Seattle Seahawks are trying to play it safe because they got a long season ahead of them, and they need Russell Wilson to be healthy.
2-3 is a real long season because right now you look like you probably will be a wild card.
If that, I mean, we got the Rams sitting at 4-1. We got the Cardinals who are undefeated. The 49ers don't look terrible. So
nobody look terrible in that division. It's just I expect you to show me a pair of balls when it's time. Great players make great plays. It's here. Do you know the difference between a hero and a coward?
What?
There really isn't no difference except one. It's at the end of the day what the guy is willing to do that makes him the hero, and what the other guy is not willing to do that makes him the coward. If I'm doing something, especially for a team too, I'm laying it all out on the line. I'm gonna cut the wire so you can go. I'm a team player. Man, we in the NFL, we getting paid for it. Man, if you don't get out there, but you can hug Sierra though after the game, right? But I thought you hurt. Get out my face. Get out my face. I got nothing to say to you, Russ. I'm calling future. Calling future.
So Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at 5-0. Are you surprised? They beat the 49ers, who are now 2-3. So the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers are both 2-3. And we got the Rams sitting at 4-1. We got the Cardinals at 5-0.
I thought it was going to be, I know the Rams was going to be in the talk.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought the Seahawks was going to be in another talk and not the talk that we're doing right now about them.
Right.
Have you noticed my twitch when I say Seahawks now? I don't really look. You see that? But that's a high school team. They Russell, you really did a number on me, because I don't know. You can't fold if somebody fold on me, man. That's it. I tell you straight up, get out my face. Don't fold on me, especially when the game's on the line. You gonna fold on me? I wouldn't fold on you. Truth. If we was playing the game together, you can always count on me. Okay, right. I ain't gonna fold on you. I don't care what.
And when it's a close game like that as well. I mean,
that's
you only lost by one touchdown. Geno Smith played pretty well, threw a touchdown pass, but then threw that costly interception at the end of the game.
Playing like the Jets.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna fold on you. The game on the line right now.
Yeah,
I'm not folding.
And this is a divisional game. This is the Rams. Very, very important game. So, yeah, that was a big disappointment that's a big disappointment for the Seattle Seahawks. I believe Russell Wilson is going to be out for a couple weeks now, so they're going to be leaning on Geno Smith and his playing ability. But
my God,
Coach Jay, do you have time for X's and O's before we say bye to our audience?
Yes, I do. I just want to go over the defense real quick.
All right. So thanks for hanging with us. We are going to have our segment called X's and O's, where Coach Jay likes to talk about what the teams need to do going into their next matchup. So hang with us. This is X's and O's, and I have your intro video somewhere, and it starts now.
Talk to them boys that sat on them benches, man. I was in the game on 4th and inches. Coach, put me in the game on 4th and inches, and I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I see them boys all behind me winless. I ain't Mario Williams, but I'm not defenseless. Wide receiver catching Hail Marys, I'm Christian. 5 and out, hot route, yeah, switch stick shift. Gone with the quickness, fast and instant. Cornerback safeties, I burn them like incense. On the field, I'm daddy, and the ball is my infant. I don't need so much support, but I'm in love with the pigskin. All I really know how to do is win. Super Bowl champ, Disney World, let the kids in. Hall of Fame Wayne, I'm putting my dibs in. Catch me in the game on 4th and inches. The Empire. I don't talk.
I don't talk to him. I love that song. I don't talk to them boys that sat on them benches. All right, here we go.
Put you on the phone on 4th and inches. I love that song too. But take it away, Coach.
All right, so here we go. We got another episode of X's and O's. I'm gonna show y'all just some key things that the defense need to do so we can do more than just survive. Okay. Now, the Eagles is gonna come out in the spread. Why? Because that's what everybody and their mama do, is come out and spread, because we got so many skinnies nowadays that we spread them out, let the athlete be the athlete. But here's the defense for the Bucks. Now, this week, Bucks, I'm gonna be honest. You know I don't trust 1, 2, 3.5, because that's Sherm. That's Sherm. But you still old though. But I love you, Sherman. I love you. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3.5. Not fully. Now, here's the thing what we got to do. All we got to do, like I said earlier, the offensive line does not like their quarterback. I can tell when an offensive line does not like their quarterback. So all we got to do is make sure we make this offensive line work. based on what I've been seeing them when they play against people, they can't pick up twists. So with that being said, I'm going to have a backer, and I'm going to have another backer. We're going to be moving around a little bit, just a little, because we don't want to get too carried away. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And now we're going to throw in some twists. So I'm going to have this guy, boom, come here. When it look like the linebacker's going to come, he going to drop back, boom. We're going to have this end. He's going to crash, boom. And I'm going to bring this guy right down the middle. All we have to do to win this game, Tom, I know what you're going to do. You do your thing. You sitting, you cool, Tom. Offensive line, don't let your little sister get hit. But defensive-wise, this man can throw the ball. Especially Ray Charles could throw the ball if the guy wide open. All right, that's the problem. We keep leaving gaps. Stop it. Clean this up. Start moving around and communicating. I need you. Get in there. Stop over here trying to look for a flare. We don't care about the tailback. Kill this guy. He is the target. Kill that guy. If you hurt that guy, they have nobody else. Because if they did, he probably wouldn't be starting. They have nobody else. So all we got to do, make sure we get in there. Boom. Then we're going to start playing some tricks now. Now I'm going to have the linebackers coming up together. Uh-oh. He looking. I don't know where they coming from. And he hit me. And he did this. And he did that. We're going to come. Boom. He coming right here. He going to come right off the gate. Right there. We can have fun, move around, fly around, and still be successful. Because I'm going to tell you what they're going to try to do. He's going to panic. Only thing he's going to throw is slants, bubbles, flares, some screens. I'm not going to draw that screen up because I drew it last week. Yeah, I'll draw it up. So we'll say it's a wide receiver screen. So we'll say tunnel. So this guy's going to come, boom, because you got to get Richard Sherman out of there. He's going to act like he's going, he's going to come back. Boom. Offensive line, go boom, boom, invite, punch through, center, go kill somebody, lead up, go get you a skinny. They're not going to do anything fancy. But if you leave those holes open in that defense, because right now, shoot, my grandma could throw on this defense right now. I mean, there's nobody there. And this, I'm gonna mark the area for you. Look, right here. And this one's a little shady because sometimes Sherman, he be playing around. But if they go, when we're in man, all you gotta do is make Sherman turn. So I'm gonna put a little, something little right there. Between there and there. Boop, 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 boop. Right there in that spot. If you stop that and cover those areas up, he gonna be looking around like, well, I ain't got nowhere to go. And then he gonna start doing this, what we want him to do. I love when a quarterback wants to keep the ball and run it himself all day. Because then I tell boy, all we gotta do is tattoo this man. Once we tattoo him, he gonna be running out there. That's okay. Come down, blast him right through the alley. Come down hard on the alley. Now he gonna try and have this guy come out and block for him. That's okay. We right here behind him. We're gonna have somebody come down the alley, boom, blow him up. Sherm, go hit him, boom. You do those things, you will win the game. Communicate every play, because sometimes they will have this. And they just do this. Let me teach you, ladies and gentlemen, let me teach you something. So that way you can know this. This is called a sniffer. Okay? A sniffer, he sniffs around, right? That's why he's the sniffer. Because he's telling you where the ball is going. That's why he's sniffing around, okay? When you got trips over here, especially with the Eagles, they going to move this guy. He going to come either here as a wing back now, right behind the offensive tackle, just to give an extra protection and pass, or he's going to keep going like he coming, then he going to come back. If you see anybody, I'm talking about NFL, college, high school, hell, even Little League. If you see this guy stop right here, he is the sniffer. He is sniffing around. He telling you where the ball going. Wherever he go, the ball going. So if that man go boom and boom, they just open it up. Boom. He gonna come there. All he doing is leading up to the backer, and then the ball coming right here with him. This guy's just gonna option off of it to that guy. That's it. Sniffer. You see the sniffer? He gonna tell you where the ball going. That's really the only thing they do. They can't win. They ain't got Carson Wentz. Other than that, that's all I have. Back to you, Ruth.
And that is our segment of X and O's to wrap up this week's episode of the Tom Gronkowski Show. We appreciate everybody who tuned in to tonight's episode. We will be back next Wednesday live. If you didn't catch us live, make sure to travel to the YouTube page or the Facebook page for Fans Only Sports Network, where you could catch the Tom Gronkowski Show anytime that you need to. Please subscribe to us on Fans Only Sports Network on YouTube and give us a follow on social media. We appreciate you guys sticking around. Coach, what is going to be the final score for Thursday Night Football? If they follow the game plan that you just thoroughly laid out for them.
Oh, if they follow the game plan, shoot, I say they might score like 7, maybe 7. We're going to score 35. 35-7.
35-7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can guarantee you we're going to go up 5-1 tomorrow night, but you never know, because that's just a game of football. Thank you for joining us here on the Tom Gronkowski Show. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Go watch Game 2 of the WNBA Finals. The Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury are putting on a hell of a matchup between these two teams. The score is 74-72. No, I'm mistaken. Chicago just tied up the game 74-74. The ladies are putting on a great matchup, so make sure to tune in on ESPN. And thanks for joining. This is Ruth the Truth, and Coach Jay and I will see you guys next week.